from New York, it's the Jerry Langford Show with guest host Tony Randall and his special guests, Shelley Winters, Thor Vidal, Tony Bennett. As always, Lou Brown and the orchestra and little old me and Hurley. And now say hello to Tony.
Thank you very much. I have some sad news for you. Earlier today, my writing staff was executed in Central Park by the network firing squad. So there will be no sensational Randall monologue this evening. No embarrassing display of emotion, please. Instead, we're going to do something a little bit different this evening. A lot different, if you ask me. We're going to give you a glimpse, turn it over, please, thank you, into the future. It isn't often that you can call someone a sure thing in the entertainment business. After all, the verdict is always in your hands, isn't it? But I think tonight, after you've met my first guest, you'll agree with me that he's destined for greatness in one way or another. So will you please give your warmest greetings to the newest king of comedy, Rupert Pupkin.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let me introduce myself. My name is Rupert Pupkin. I was born in Clifton, New Jersey, which was not at that time a federal offense. Is there anyone here from Clifton? Oh, good, we can all relax now. Now, I'd like to begin by saying that my parents were too poor to afford me a childhood in Clifton. But the fact is, you know, that no one is allowed to be really too poor in Clifton, because once you fall below a certain level, they exile you to Passaic. But you know, my parents did put the first 2 down payments on my childhood, don't get me wrong. But they did also return me to the hospital as defective. But like everyone else, I grew up in large part thanks to my mother. If she were only here today, I'd say, "Hey, Mom, what are you doing here? You've been dead for 9 years." But seriously, you should have seen my mother. She was wonderful. Blonde, beautiful, intelligent, alcoholic. We used to drink milk together after school. Mine was homogenized. Hers was loaded. Once they picked her up for speeding. They clocked her doing 50. All right, but in our garage? And you know, when they tested her, they found out that her alcohol had 2% blood. But we used to joke together, Mom and me, until the tears would stroll down her face and she would throw up. Yeah, and who would clean it up? Not Dad. He was too busy down at O'Grady's throwing up on his own. Yeah. In fact, until I was 16, I thought throwing up was a sign of maturity. You know, while the other kids were off in the woods sneaking cigarettes, I was hiding behind the house with my fingers down my throat. The only problem was I never got anywhere. Until one day, my father caught me. And, you know, just as he was giving me a final kick in the stomach for luck, I managed to heave all over his new shoes. That's it, I thought. I've made it. I'm finally a man. But as it turned out, I was wrong. That was the only attention my father ever gave me. Yeah, he was usually too busy out in the park playing ball with my sister Rose. But today, I must say, thanks to those many hours of practice, my sister Rose has grown into a fine man. wasn't especially interested in athletics. The only exercise I ever got was when the other kids picked on me. Yeah, they used to beat me up once a week, usually Tuesday. And after a while, the school worked it into the curriculum. And if you knocked me out, you got extra credit. Except there was this one kid, poor kid. He was afraid of me, and I used to tell him, hit me. What's the matter with you? Don't you want to graduate? Well, as for me, hey, I was the youngest kid in the history of the school to graduate in traction. But, you know, my only real interest right from the beginning was show business. Even as a young man, I began at the very top, collecting autographs. Now, a lot of you are probably wondering why Jerry isn't with us tonight. Well, I'll tell you, the fact is he's tied up, and I'm the one who tied him. Well, I know you think I'm joking, but believe me, that's the only way I could break into show business. By hijacking Jerry Langford. Right now, Jerry is strapped to a chair somewhere in the middle of this city. Well, go ahead and laugh. Thank you. I appreciate it. But the fact is, I'm here. Now, tomorrow you'll know that I wasn't kidding and you'll think I was crazy. But look, I figure it this way. Better to be king for a night than schmuck for a lifetime.
Self-styled comedian named Rupert Pupkin appeared on the Jerry Langford Show last night.
Pupkin on the air. There is no doubt that the incident has made the name Rupert Pupkin a household word.
Officials estimate that Rupert Pupkin's performance has been viewed by a record 87 million American households.
Rupert Pupkin, the kidnapping king of comedy, was sentenced today to 6 years imprisonment at the government's minimum security facility in Allenwood, Pennsylvania, for his part in the abduction of talk show host Jerry Langford.
A press conference
In
held on the
explaining
anniversary of his appearance on the Jerry Langford Show, Rupert Pupkin told a gathering of reporters that he still considers Jerry Langford his friend and mentor. He reported that he had been spending his time writing his memoirs, which had been purchased by a leading New York publishing house for in excess of $1 million.
Rupert Pupkin was released today from Allenwood after serving 2 years and 9 months of a 6-year sentence. Hundreds were there to greet the 37-year-old comedian and author, among them his new agent and manager, David Ball, who announced that King for a Night, Pupkin's best-selling autobiography, would be appearing next September as a major motion picture.
Pupkin said he had used his stay at Allenwood to sharpen his material. He said that he and his people were weighing a number of attractive offers and that he looked forward to resuming his show business career.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the man we've all been waiting for. And waiting for. Would you welcome home, please, television's brightest new star, the legendary, inspirational, the one and only king of comedy, ladies and gentlemen, Rupert Pupkin. Rupert Pupkin, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it for Rupert Pupkin.